Hey everybody. So Fahros, Fahros on Twitch gave me a project. I guess it's a project while he's trying to clear Palace of the Dead. So basically, the general theory is, and to keep going into Palace of the Dead and basically figure out scores, how scores work. Um, so I've already done two tests, and the tests are very simple. Go to floor one, open a gold chest, and then see what you get. Then immediately die. So I'm gonna rinse and repeat this a few times just so that I make sure I have documented evidence. Make sure I am recording. But so this is going to be the test of opening a gold chest and then find the first enemy, aggro this guy so I die quicker. But no, no, stop killing. Don't kill. Put the sword away. And then just see what score you get. So open a chest and then just immediately die. So you're going to do this with a gold chest. And as a paladin, I do have rampart, so I can actually make it from each room to each room um, to do some more tests, like say open a gold chest and then go open another gold chest, just to make sure that it adds up. So right now, my previous two runs have given me 2470. This should be 2470. Okay. So it's safe to say, now unless there's a death penalty, um, that's going to be a little harder to verify. But the next test is to go in and open two chests. And then I'm going to do a few different tests. I'm going to try and search for a silver chest, just to see if silver chests are worth different. So this test is going to be opening two gold chests. So far, three tests with one gold chest. Each test 2470. This test is going to be searching for a gold chest, which I hope I find. Um, you might be able to hear Pharaohs in the background because I got them on my TV streaming. Okay, so two gold chests. And now close the screen and let these guys kill me. And calculator. So this should be 2470 times 2. And this is taking a second. So I should get 4940. And I'm going to write this down. So we should have 4940 when this score pops up from 2 gold. Oh, okay. Interesting. Okay. So let's repeat that experiment to make sure I'm not going crazy. So, okay, let's repeat that test. So that was two gold chests on floor one and a fixed party. Okay, so the score you expect to see with two gold chests is 4940. Two gold chests. Now let's repeat that experiment to see if that was a fluke or if that is something that is interesting. It's a silver chest. Let's see if we can find. Okay, 2 gold chests. So 2 fortunes, you can see clearly here. Aggro this guy too. So, wrote a note into Fahros' chat just to kind of see what his feedback is. I basically said 2 gold chests open, same score as 1, 2470. So let's see if we can repeat these results. 2470. Okay, so that is extremely interesting. So we're going to try a few different ones. Alright, so let's exit. Okay, let's cross that off my sheet, or off my little paper here. So I'm not sure what explains that. So these are going to be some very basic tests on floor 1. Next test is going to be, is a silver chest worth more or less? So I may have to repeat this one a few times to get a silver chest on the first floor, but I'll search around. So this test is for a silver chest and then to die to see what the score gives. So kill no enemies, not attack any enemies, skip everything, and this is only on floor 1. And try not to hit any traps at all. That's going to be a different test to see if. So the next test is going to be to find a trap, step on it on purpose. Okay, so there's no silver chest on this floor, so let me just die on purpose. Try and rinse and repeat this test here. And this will actually give you an example to see if 2470 is just some pity score that they give you. So this is killing nothing, getting no chest at all, no nothing, just in and out, die. 2470. Okay. Interesting. Alright. So then the next test. Okay, so this time the test is going to be to kill 1 enemy. Actually, so this time I can actually get a silver chest. And then this test will be just to see if a silver chest gives you something. $24.70. Okay, so okay, so the obvious result of this is, well, so there's another way to test this. And that's to finish floor 1. Alright, let's do this. So 2470 seems to be some type of set score for floor 1, maybe. That's hard to say, so let's do fixed party. Floor 1. Alright, so this test, don't touch any chest at all. So we're going to call this the 0 chest. And then only the minimum number of kills to get to the passageway, and then die on floor 2. Alright. Okay. And try and avoid all traps also. And don't make fun of my clicking. I click. Sorry. Don't be mean to me, please. Alright. Okay. So, that was 1, 2, 3, 4 enemies. 4 enemies, 0 chest. Okay. So, 0 chest. 4 enemies. Okay. Now, and then simply just die. No traps. Okay. So, this test is to simply see how much does the score change going from one floor to the next, 0 chest. And only killing the very, very minimum number of enemies required to get to the next floor. So 2470 seems like some kind of pity score. I'm not sure what that is. Or maybe it doesn't register your score, or maybe it doesn't do anything with your score. Okay, so now let's see what happened here. 8854. Okay. Alright. So, maybe let's try this. And this can be, there's a way to confirm this also. Let's take 8854. Let's assume 2470 is some kind of pity score. Okay. So let's assume 6364 is the score that I got for those 4 enemies. Does that give me a nice round number? 1596. Interesting. That's a nice round number. It's no decimals in there at all. Okay. So you can theoretically assume, this is a hypothesis right now. So hypothesis would be on the first floor at least, and I can test this on the 51st floor since I have that unlocked. Each enemy you kill is worth 1596 on the first floor at least. Now there's another way to test this, a very, very simple way to test this. Exit. So I killed 4 enemies. This time, what I'll do is I will kill 5 enemies on the first floor. And I also want to see if that 2470, if we can figure out that 1596 is for enemies. From there, from right there, you can start doing a lot of, you can start doing a lot of planning on how you want to route Palace of the Dead. Now, the bigger thing to test also, that will be next, um, will be, okay, so if you go from floor 1 to floor 2 to floor 3. So the first floor, they seem to give you a pity score. Here's your 2470. Does that number double if all of a sudden you go to floor 2? And does that number triple? So that's 2 enemies. One other factor that could be playing in here possibly is the levels I get. So we're up to 3 enemies. So this will be 4 enemies. Okay, 4 enemies. Okay, so this will be number 5. Now this is going to be hard to do because I have to hope there's no respawns at all. Okay, so this is 5 enemies. So I have to be very careful not to aggro anything or hit any traps on the way up here. And this is easily testable with 6 enemies or however many you need. So that's 5 enemies. So 0 chest. 5 enemies. This is under 30 minutes. There's another way to do this test. Is to also wait. Some of the harder things to figure out is there's a theory that if you finish the floors in under 30 minutes, you get extra bonus points. People who run this a very large amount of times say that they notice an increase in their scores from when they don't do that. That's also something else we have to test. That's a much harder thing to test. I'm trying to get this little guy to aggro on me so they kill me quicker. The next test is going to be if this adds up to be 1596 again. So this time it's 0 chest, 5 enemies. So I should get, before this even pops up on the screen, so I should have 5 times 1596 plus my 2470 pity score. So that should be my score that pops up on the screen. Now let's see if I can successfully predict my score. 8955. Okay, so what does that tell us? Okay, 8955 minus 2470 divided by 5. 1297. Okay, that's very far off from the 1596. Now, For 0 chest, 4, it was 88.54. Well, so 0 chest, 4 enemies. 4 enemies. Writing this all down on a sheet of paper here. 88.54. So 88.54. Okay, so for killing that one extra enemy, it only gave me an extra 101 points with 0 chest. Okay. Let's do a test with 1 gold chest and preferably 4 enemies. Okay, let's enter Palace of the Dead. Floor 1. And I'll probably post this as floor 1 Palace of the Dead basic number crunching or something. Just something simple. So this one, the goal right now is to get 1 gold chest with 4 enemies. To see if we can maybe establish a baseline of how much a gold chest is worth. Or a theory. Because what I'm figuring out right now could dramatically change how Palace of the Dead is run. Because according to what I'm looking at right there, killing any enemies past what is required to open the passage might be pointless. So the goal here is 0 traps, 4 enemies, 1 chest. Okay, let's see if I can get away with this. 4 enemies, 1 chest, 0 traps. Let me see if I can get through. Am I going to be able to get through? Or am I going to have to test this with 5 enemies? I'm going to have to test this with 5. Okay. So that's why I got a good 5 enemy test. Okay, so this test, changing the test. 1 gold chest, 5 enemies. So previously it was 89.55 with 0 gold chest and 5 enemies. So goal is to just basically run in here and die. God, it's going to take a while. And I'm trying not to run in this room because if I trigger a trap, the theory right now is that traps are negative for your score. So I don't want to hit any traps at all or take any remote chance of hitting any traps. So this will take 1 moment. I'll be able to taunt this guy here in a second. Alright, I should go a little quicker. So, just to review, this test is 1 gold chest, 5 enemies. The previous test was 0 chest, 5 enemies. So, the score that appears on my screen should be above 89.55. And that difference could hypothetically be how much a gold chest is worth. Well, ain't that something? Okay. Okay, well, that's certainly something. All right. This needs to be tested by people that are far more experienced than me to verify I'm not going crazy. Okay. Next test. And these conditions are going to start to get a little harder as I try to test each one of these in a perfect scenario. So the next test, 2 gold chest. 2 gold chest, preferably 4, well, let's say 5 enemies. 5 enemies. 2 gold chests, 5 enemies. Two, three. Two. Okay, 2 enemies. Okay, so, alright. So I need 3 more enemies. I'm not going to kill anything in here. Well, yeah, let me kill. Just really, really trying to avoid traps right now. Okay, so that's 3 enemies. I'm not going to kill the firefly guy yet. I need 2 chests. I need 2 gold chests. So I'm searching for another gold chest right now. Or else I'm going to have to reset this run. Okay, no. Once we start adding more conditions to this, this is going to be a little bit more difficult because you have to find the perfect run. Alright, so currently we have 2 gold chests, 4 enemies. And I could test this, and I have a feeling I would come back as the same thing as if I did 0 chests, 4 enemies at 88.54. But so right now we have one, two, three. We have 3 enemies. So I said that this test was going to be 2 gold chests, 5 enemies. Two, 5. Okay, so this is definitely 2 gold chests, 5 enemies. So in theory, I should get a score higher than 89.55. I just have to avoid everything. Okay. So, current test. So with 1 gold chest, 5 enemies, it was 89.55. With 2 gold chests, 5 enemies, it should be higher. So, this goal is to simply aggro this guy and to die. So, current test, 2 gold chests, 5 enemies. Anticipated score, 89.55. But you would think 2 gold chests should be higher because gold chests are worth more, right? That's the thinking in the community currently. So the thinking is to collect as many chests as possible, to run up your score. But there might not be no way of running up your score, which kind of takes some of the fun out of this, but we're going to have to verify. This is just one guy doing one test. Okay. This should be higher than 89.55 with 2 gold chests and 5 enemies. No. Okay. Okay. So, we can try and mix this. Okay. Next test. Okay. Next test. 5 enemies, or 4 or 5 enemies, however many I get. 4 or 5. One explosion trap, preferably. Okay. Let's close this. Reset. Enter. So this test is preferably 4 or 5 enemies, because we already know. So what's going on here? So with 0 chest, 4 enemies, we had 88.54. Actually, let me do the ones with 5 enemies since that's way more. We have more data. 0 chest, 5 enemies, 89.55. 1 gold chest, 5 enemies, 89.55. 2 gold chest, 5 enemies, 89.55. So this test, from what I have written here, says 5 enemies, 1 trap. So let's try and get some data on traps for the community to do something with. So it's either 4 or I'm going for 5. So the goal here is 5. And then preferably an explosion to my face here. If I get a luring trap, that might be something to look at too. Where's the trap? Okay, enfeebling trap. 1 trap. So in the community right now, so that's currently 2 enemies, 1 trap. So in the community right now, the current thinking that I've seen is traps bring down your score. So avoid traps. Kind of common sense, makes sense. But we're going to have to test this theory. So, this current test, just to review before I enter here, 5 enemies, that was an enfeebling trap. So, in theory, going by the community understanding of how this works, so with 0 chest, 5 enemies, 89.55. 1 gold chest, 5 enemies, 89.55. 2 gold chest, 5 enemies, 89.55. Okay? So this is 0 chest, 5 enemies, 1 trap. Alright. Okay. So, I also have to write this down on my sheet of paper. 0 chest. If the community is correct, my score should be lower right now. So I should get a score lower than 89.55 because I stepped on a trap. And this, after I get done with this, I'll upload the video to YouTube so that everybody can view it. Not even sure where I'm at right now. I'm on a video. So, I should be higher or lower than 89.55. Okay. Okay. So, let me publish this data on YouTube. This is definitely going to create, um, it's going to need further research. The next video will probably be doing two floors. Two floors. So 5 enemies on the first floor, preferably 5 enemies on the second floor to see if it doubles the score. To find out if this is some type of set process, because the only time that I saw some type of variance in the score, just to review the data, 0 chests, 4 enemies, 88.54. When it was 0 chests, 5 enemies, 89.55. So when it required 5 enemies to clear a floor, it was 89.55. When it required 4 enemies to clear a floor, it was 88.54. And then also, there's this 2470 that you get no matter what. So if you open a chest then die, 2470. If you kill an enemy then die, 2470. Actually, let me check. Oh, that's the one thing I didn't check. So let me add some real quick check. Okay, sorry. Thought I was done. So this test, very quick test. Very simple test, real fast. Floor 1. So when I had 1 chest and then died, 2470. 2 chest, then die, 2470. Okay, so this will be I'm gonna do 1 chest because I have previous data on that. So 1 chest, open a chest. And then I've tried this just going in here and then dying. So the goal here is to, so no traps also, so no traps. Don't want to do anything with the data. Now my goal here is to just die to this guy. So this test is 1 enemy. So, and this is just some floor 1 data. I'm not going to floor 2 just to see what this does. Because if I go to floor 2, I would have to kill more than 1 enemy. So this test is to see 1 enemy, 1 chest. I need to see if this 2470 is just an across the board kind of like a pity score that they give you. So the prior tests have been 1 chest, 0 enemies, 2470. And then previous to that, it was 2 chests, 0 enemies, 2470. So we have to determine if there's some type of base score attached to each floor also. So if you kill, if you get floor 1 as a 2470 is your base score that you automatically get for doing floor 1. Even if you killed nothing and somehow went to the second floor, 2470. If you went up, so I'll review this here in a second. I just need this guy to hurry up and kill me. Come here, mouse. Okay. I expect to see 2470 when I die. One, 2570. Well, there's something for you. We might know how much chests are worth now. That prompts me to do another test. So let's figure out how much chests are worth. No, not that one. Okay. This test. So the previous test was 1 enemy, 1 chest. So previously, no, that really doesn't tell you much. So let's go over the data we have right now. So the data we have right now, I don't want to enter. Just return out of there. So the data we currently have, first floor, no clear. One chest, no enemies, 2470. And I'll try and put this in the comment section of the video. And the next data we have, one enemy, one chest, gave you 2570. So that makes you assume that without clearing the floor that enemy is worth 100 points. So even if you don't clear a floor, you get credit for the enemy. Because previously we had tried, I need to try, even when I tried zero chest, it was 2470. So that indicates that you at least get some type of pity score. So if you clear the floor, maybe there's some type of floor bonus you're getting when you clear the floor. Uh, the enemies are worth so much, and then the clearing the floor itself gives you a score. So this could be made up of 3 parts. So there could be a base score that you get. There could be the score for how many and it's not how many enemies you kill, it's how many enemies you kill that open the portal. Possibly. This definitely needs way more testing from somebody who has far more experience kind of playing with this. But I'll put the numbers in the chat, um, just to see. So, but definitely let me know what you think. Leave comments, of course. If you want to see any more types of tests, I have time to do this just to play around with it. Thank you so much, and y'all have a nice day.